Upload it. Just so you know, when you all get role playing, you all will be on the internet. Did I get it? Good.
Hey Ron, you talking about the car salesman? I had one of my ex-bosses a long time ago. He decided him and his wife was going to get a new car. He says, whatever it is, it's not going to have air conditioning in it. That's what he said. It's not going to have air conditioning. Car salesman says, look, we don't have one what you was looking for right now, but this one has an air conditioner in it. You want to take it for a test drive so you can see if you like it or not. Before the test drive was over, he looked at his wife and says, I'll work another job just to pay for that air conditioner.
I had so many different trainers that had taught me so many different things, but there was one guy called Joe McGuire I learned a lot of. He was great on working the phones, and that's why I'm great on getting people in on the phones now. But anyway, he always taught me, I mean, back in the day, we'll put it in an extreme analogy, but say I was selling Cadillacs. If a customer come in wanting a nice Cadillac or whatever, he taught me he'd always tell people, drive them in like a Ford Pinto first. Because once they get out of that, they'll do anything to buy that Cadillac. They'll appreciate all them gadgets and everything. But, you know, and then there was Jackie B. Cooper, who was a great guy with Ford, and I actually got to sell it side by side with him. He even actually had what he told people to do a stunner close. But this is back, you gotta remember, this is back in the day where they used a lot of theatrics, and not just theatrics, but they tried conning people to a certain extent. Even the trainers were being taught conning. Okay, there's a difference between psychology and conning people, okay? But he would he'd tell you, hey, sometimes you use the stutter close, just start stuttering and they'll feel bad for you and buy the car. Okay. So, but anyway, and you know, and maybe it worked for a lot of people, but I just can't lie to people. To me, it's just, that's lying. There's a difference between using psychology and lying to a person, okay? And there's also a difference if my intentions are honorable, where I want to make sure that I sell them a car, because I guarantee you, there's been times I've sold a customer a car, even some I didn't make a lot of money on. But most of them I make a lot of money, because emotional buyers, when you get that logical buyer turn more to emotional, they'll spend more money, okay? Because they're investing partly in you. They want you to make a little money too, okay? So, my happiest customers, and anybody that's been in the business, I wish Pablo was here right now, but he'll agree. I can bring salespeople in here right now. The people you make the most money off of are your happiest people. Do you know why? Because they're your emotional buyers. They love that car. And they like you. Them are the ones you make the most money off of. Okay? Your logical buyers, the ones that beat you up and you make no money on the car, are the ones that you get all the trouble and all the hassle from, but it's okay. That's what I'm here for. I still, you know, I still treat them just like the customer I make $1 million on, okay? But we have to. But I make sure that I sell every customer, and the reason why I want to try to sell every customer is I don't want them to have a bad experience with some salesman's going to lie to them, because I know, and there's, like I'm getting ready to tell you, there's been times where something went wrong with a car that I sold the customer, and I don't have a crystal ball, but I felt that it was something the dealer should have took care of, and he didn't, and I paid for it out of my own pocket. Okay, I've done that. But what do you think that does for my reputation, and what do you think, you know, to that customer's eyes?
They'll follow you to any car lot.
Exactly. Exactly. I always used to, I'd find out people's birthdays, I'd find out their kids' birthdays. People that didn't buy cars from me, they would be getting in the mail birthday cards for their kids and birthday cards for them. So let me ask you a question. Even though I didn't sell them that time, but I'm still sending them birthday cards. On their next car purchase, who do you think the first person they're probably going to go see is? You. Right. Aren't you going to go see the person that, hey, he didn't even sell a car, but he was pretty nice. But man, he's been sending birthday cards to the kids and me and everything. Aren't you going to go to that person probably first? And if you got friends or family that's in the market for a car or whatever, aren't you going to say, hey, you know what? And they're going, well, I thought you got your car, but yeah, but this guy's he's real good. We just, we made a mistake maybe by buying this guy, because this guy's real good. He remembers kids' birthdays, everything. Okay, so don't you think that helps? But you always have to be thinking, this is your business, and if you want this to be your career, you have to think of it all the time that you're in full mode, no matter where you're at. I wear people out sometimes because I could talk about the car business forever. There are some people that, even in the car business, they go, hey, when I'm off work, I don't want to talk about the car business. I don't want to talk about sales. But to me, life is sales. Like I said, and my new book that'll be coming out is called Life is Sales. All right? Because it is. I don't care what you do in life. I don't care if it's a politician trying to get you to vote for him. And most of the time, they're lying to get you to vote. Okay? if it's the farmer trying to get more money for his cattle at the auction, if it's the third grade boy in the math class trying to win the affections of the girl in the first row. Okay? I don't care what it is we do in life. I don't care if it's you interviewing at a job. You're selling yourself to me. Everything we do in life, we're selling ourselves. I tell you what I do, and I still do it to this day. One of my sisters, a couple of my sisters are like, you know, they're like the Joneses versus the Joneses. You got to have the Mercedes, you got to have this, you got to have that. And you got to have the $700,000 house that's right next to another home, you know, with no land. I'm the type that I'd rather have big land and just a couple $100,000 house with me, fine. But you know, I don't need all that. But she, I don't know. I don't want to make her sound too bad, but there are some materialistic people in this world that you can't take that stuff with you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Now where was I at? Oh, we're on Einstein, right? We better get back to that, right? I get off track, y'all. I'm just saying. All right. Now, does anybody know what the average person that uses 6% of their brain is? Do you know what it is in here? The conscious and subconscious? This is Einstein's. 4% here, 2% here. Do you know what ours is?
1 in 5.
No, ours is the complete opposite. We use 4% of our conscious side, and we use 2% of the subconscious side. Because no one uses, they say the average person uses no more than 6% of their brain. Now, there are people that use up to 10%. And I know that this is true because there's people that have Parkinson's and stuff that start shaking, and they can freeze and kill a part of the brain, and all of a sudden it stops their shaking and stuff. So, they made advancements. So, it's, they got studies now, they're saying everybody uses 100% of their brain, whatever. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so we are the total opposite. Now that we understand that, anybody know what the word sub means? Sub? Under. Correct. Anybody know what the word liminal means? Huh? Conscious threshold. Consciousness or conscious threshold. So in other words, when subliminal messaging came out, and there was a gentleman, there was 3 gentlemen, I don't remember the other one went to college, but one of them went to MIT, one went to Harvard, and they were talking about this study that did on Einstein, and they owned a movie theater. This is 1955, when the first video subliminals come out. Okay? So what subliminal means is they want to get under the conscious into the subconscious, because that's what drives everything we do. The subconscious brain's what tells you to say, how are you doing? It's what, it's what makes you do the body language you're doing at the moment. Everything you do in life, that's what drives you. Okay? When you hear the word big sale, it's what drives you women to go to these big sales. These BOGO sales. My sister took me one about 4 months ago. I said, sis, she goes, look, it's half price. Buy one, get one free. I said, sis, I was here 2 months ago, and the sweaters were half the price they are now. No wonder it's a buy one, get one free. But, I'm going, what the world? But that big sale deal, that big sale, that was been implanted in her mind all her life. So she goes, oh, you're just being negative, Reagan. I said, no, I'm being realistic, sis. I said, these things were half the price when I was here last time. Anyway, so in 1955, there was a movie called The Picnic. It had William Holden and Kim Novak in it. I know I was not there at that, Angel. Okay? And these 3 owners, they figured, how are we got this new movie coming out that was supposed to be big, because it had some good actors. William Holden was in a lot of good old movies back in the day. Kim Novak, I'm sure she was too. I know the name sounds familiar before I can't picture, but I can picture William Holden. But so they figured, okay, how are we going to improve our snack sales, our popcorn sales, our Coca-Cola sales, and our snack sales? And they go, you know what? We did a study on Einstein, and the guy from MIT said, yeah, we did the same study that shows us the subconscious mind drives everything to do. So we need to come up with something like subliminals. And I go, yeah, subliminals. Which subliminal means, okay, subliminal message. Sub means under, conscious threshold. So in other words, they wanted to get into the subconscious, because that's what drives people. That's what makes people spend their money. That's what makes people be protective. Has anybody ever heard, and I'll get off that subject for a second, have you ever heard of someone getting in a car accident and say their child or something's underneath the car and they get superhuman strength, they can lift the car? That's truth. That happens. Do you know where that comes from? The subconscious mind. I'm going to give you an example real quick. There was this, God, How many people, and this had to do that story, but let's see, who drives the Honda Accord in here? Anybody drive a Honda Accord? Toyota Camry? Ford Focus? Wow. What do y'all drive? What do you drive?
Kia Sorento.
Kia Sorento?
Dodge Stratus.
Dodge Stratus?
Kia Forte.
Forte?
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix?
Acura CL.
Oh, Grand Van, excuse me.
Jeep Wrangler Sport.
Cool.
Oh, Grand Marquis.
Saturn.
Chevrolet Blazer.
Suzuki.
Ford Ranger.
Oval.
Ford Ranger.
Chiefs Hollow.
Hyundai Genesis. Kia Hudson. Vibe.
Huh?
Vibe. Ford Sturgeon.
Well, there's like 4 of you that drive cars that are no longer made, or companies that no longer exist. Pontiac and Suzuki are 2 of which that don't exist anymore. Anyway, there's this lady driving down a metropolitan freeway. Her dash catches on fire. Her baby's in the back seat. She pulls the car over, and instinctively when she gets out, she does this. Locks the car. Her baby's in the back seat. The fire starts expanding. Gets to where it's starting to get back towards the back of the compartment of the car. This baby's crying. I mean, just bawling her eyes out, you know. So this lady, and I guess it showed pictures where they had her fingers got down to the bone. This lady somehow peeled the door back enough to get her child out of that car. Now, because you got to understand, this is when the subconscious mind takes over. Drastic things like that happen. Now, me, I would have just took a rock and broke the window. Okay, but your conscious, when your subconscious kicks in, your conscious mind has nothing to do with it. And that's why this lady, I mean, it showed her fingers. I mean, she, down to the meat, no meat on some of her fingers and everything. And, you know, some of them just barely wiggling there where they're barely connected anymore. But, you know, I would have just picked a rock up and kind of bust the window, you know. But that's the subconscious mind. When it kicks in, it drives everything you do. It overrides your conscious side. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to tell you, I can't stress enough, when people come in sales, people already come in with enough red flags on their subconscious part of their mind. They've already got enough negatives there. I don't want you bringing up any more. I need you to get these flags down. I need you to get that guard down. Okay? Now, so what they did was, and I'm going to explain a video subliminal to you so you know exactly what it was and you can get the kind of gist of it. So what they did was they said, okay, here's what we'll do. When this new movie comes out, we're going to, like, while the people are watching the movie, we're going to have a quick little video that says, eat more popcorn, flash up. Okay, and it'll say, drink more Coke. And it just goes down real quick like this. So what happens is, you're watching the movie, so your mind, your conscious mind, is enthralled in watching that movie. So it's busy watching the movie. You know, what they're doing, what's going on, and then all of a sudden, a little flash pops up there. You see it, but you don't see it, because you're watching the movie. So it did what its purpose was designed. So it got under your conscious and went right to your subconscious. You know what read it? Read that eat more popcorn? Your subconscious part of your brain. Okay, that's a subliminal message. That's why all of a sudden popcorn sales went up over 800%. Okay, snack sales went up 350%. And then Al Gore and them got out of college and he said they're brainwashing people. Okay, but that goes to show you. Does it make sense? You see what I'm saying? You got the conscious mind busy. Now I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to tell you what audio subliminals are that just got outlawed this year. Okay, how many times have you? And it was February this year they got outlawed. All right, how many times have you been watching a TV movie or something and all of a sudden a commercial comes on, it's blaring loud? Oh, that's an audio subliminal. Them are outlawed now. They cannot be any higher than the average decibel of the whole movie. Now, if it's an action movie where there's a lot of blowing up and stuff in it, then the commercial can be a little louder because the average soundtrack of the movie is a little louder. Okay? But if it's a quiet Hallmark movie or something you're watching, that commercial's got to be the same level. It cannot be hardly a decibel higher than that. But here's the deal, and here's the theory. And I guarantee you, let's say you're watching, let's say Mr. Taylor is watching a movie, Mr. Ryan's watching a movie, all right, Eric? And commercial comes on, a sweeper, okay? And so all of a sudden, he either, if you can't find the remote, because most of us can't ever find the remote, right? You know, to mute it or whatever. So he'll go to the kitchen, grab something, get him a beer, whatever it may be, but you can still hear that commercial because it's blaring loud. So his conscience is involved getting his beer, and he's constantly making a decision not to even pay attention to the TV, so it does its job. That audio subliminal does its job. He listens to it. So next thing you know, 2 hours later, he's at the grocery store, and he's coming home with a Swiffer sweeper. And he don't know why in the heck he bought one. I'm serious. That's why they just outlawed it. Here again, we're brainwashing people. So there's ways, and I show you ways that we actually do kind of subliminals with people when they hit the lot. It's part of the greeting, meet and greet, and that's part of when I say, when you're shaking their hand up and down and you ask them, are you here for the big sale? Because their mind is still contemplating your name that you just gave them, so they're trying to remember your name, and they're branding the first impression of you into the subconscious part of the brain. So that's what they're consciously thinking about. And when you say you're here for a big sale and you're going up and down, automatically most of them will say yes without even questioning you about it. And we'll go into, well, what if they ask about it? Because you never bring it up after that. You don't say anything after that, because then you make it a conscious decision. You make it conscious. So if you keep saying big sale this, big sale that, then it's conscious, then they know it's a gimmick. It's like, you know, you're being a salesperson, okay? And I don't want you to be anything like that. But there always are big sales going on with the manufacturers and stuff. So if the customer does ask you, well, no, could you tell me about it? Well, yes. I know that, Mr. Customer, I'm brand new. Okay, so be easy on me, but if there's any questions I can't answer, I will find out the answers for you because I'm your salesperson. But I know that different rebates on different makes and models of cars depend on which brand you choose and different incentives. Okay, so if there's any questions I can't answer, I'm your salesperson. I'll find out the answer for you. Okay, and that's how we handle that. Okay, and I will be showing here shortly how we do a proper meet and greet, and I might even mess up. You never know. I do a lot sometimes. You know. All right. So does everybody understand what subliminal messaging is? Do we understand what the subconscious part of the brain does? That it does drive everything that we do. You never should ask a customer a question that you don't know the answer to, really, and you never ask a question that they can say no to. No's or negatives, correct? Never ask a question a customer can say no to. Okay, we're going to use a lot of trial closes, mental ownership, for example. Now, who's the first person you're going to show your new car to?
Well, I would say my wife, if I had one.
There you go. To answer that question, when I first meet someone, I do trial closes and mental ownership on them. I'm going to ask them, who's the first person you're going to show your new car to? They haven't even bought it yet. But to answer that question, they have to mentally put themselves in that car, showing it to that person. Okay? I do enough, and you'll see tomorrow when I do my product presentation, you will see tomorrow how many times that I say in your new, your new Dodge Stratus, whatever car we end up showing tomorrow, okay, Mr. Customer, and the new Dodge Stratus you've chosen to buy today, Mr. Customer, and your new Dodge Stratus, and your new Dodge, how many times I say that? I guarantee it's at least 40 times within the time that while I'm showing the car. I put it in their mind that many times. And your new Dodge Stratus, sir, that won't happen. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? So, we need to use everything we have to our benefit because we know these people are here to buy a car. They need someone that's on their side and an advocate for them. Okay? Which hopefully will be everyone in this room. Okay? So, that's how I roll. And that's how, hopefully, if you do this, and it's so simple. This is so simple. And here's the deal. Yes, you're going to have to work a lot of hours when you first get into this. Okay? Because if you don't, shame on you. Okay? But I guarantee you, once you start selling cars, you don't have to be there all month. You don't even have to show up if you're selling cars. That's what I did. And I wish I would have. And a lot of times, I didn't take that, for granted, after a little while. After my dad passed, there's times I wouldn't come in for 2 weeks, but I was still selling more than everybody that was there the whole month. Okay? And I had one dealer. Give you an example, I was at a place in Warrensburg, Missouri. The whole store only sold at the most 120 a month, and I'm selling at least 30 cars a month. And my dad had just passed not too long ago. And there's a gentleman he's one of my mentors, you heard me mention before, Pete Franklin. Anyway, he was running the store. He was actually part owner, but the owners were Italian and kind of, I guess, maybe mob connected, whatever. Because all I know is one day the organized crime task force came in there and arrested the owner. That's all I got to tell you. But he never would say anything to any of the salespeople or the manager. He never talked to anybody, the owner. Now, every Saturday we had meetings in his office, and he just sat there, and Pete Franklin did the deal. Well, this is a little bit after my dad died, and Pete always kind of took me under his wing and tried to make sure that I, and I wish at times I wish I would have listened to him more. But, there was 1 month, and this is right after my dad passed, I got a big check, and I didn't show up for 3 weeks later. Well, when I come to work, it was on Saturday, because Saturdays were always the best day, So I come to work and everybody goes, Ragan, Franklin's gonna fire you. He said, when you show up, you're gone, you're history. I go, well, whatever.